Well, listener, wherever you are with us, the Voice of Indonesia in Jakarta, and today we have invited a very important guest. He is Javier Serrano, the director of Cervantes Institute in Jakarta. Hello, how are you?
Good morning. Very happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
So this is our first meeting here in our studio, right?
Right.
So are you still new here in Jakarta?
Well, I've been here for a year and a few months.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Serrano, can you explain us, our listeners, about what is Cervantes Institute actually?
very well. Yeah, sure. The Instituto Cervantes, or Cervantes Institute, is the official Spanish government institution looking after the promotion of Spanish language and the Spanish-speaking cultures, which means not only Spanish, but also any other such as Argentinian, Colombian, and so on. So we promote the learning of Spanish as a foreign language worldwide.
Okay, so you promote the Spanish language, only language, or including culture?
No, our activities. There's no language without culture. There's no culture without language. So they go together.
Together, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, all our activities they comprise from language classes and exams to cultural events. So we do all the range of
Okay,
activities.
so what is the idea behind this? Promotion. Why does the Spanish government or just the Spanish-speaking countries feel that this is important to spread out the Spanish language?
Well, Spanish language is one of the most important international languages, or out of the many languages in the world, the 7,000 that we have. Well, Spanish language is always ranks between the two and the therefore most consistently important international languages. So being aware of that and all that it entails, the flow of communication, interaction from trade and economy to education, this is important for us, not just to strengthen Spanish language where it's learned as a foreign language, but also in those places with it's starting, such as Indonesia. So we are here to promote and accompany because we are convinced that out of the using of the common tool, language tool, many things come right behind, such as social interactions, trade and economy, research, of course, and indeed political ties.
Okay, so talking about promotion, so what kind of programs you have here in Jakarta, especially to promote these languages and culture?
Well, given the situation of the Spanish language, which is actually absent from the university and both the secondary school system, no classes of Spanish are taught officially in any university. There is no study program of Spanish, and also at the secondary school. We are at Cervantes, along with Universitas Indonesia, with Lembaga Bahasa International. We offer some Spanish classes, co-curricular Spanish classes. We also provide support training for teachers of Spanish in Indonesia, and most importantly, we also provide the official Spanish exams for those who are studying Spanish and they want to officially certify it. We offer Spanish exams in Indonesia twice a year. So that's basically the range of activities that we are offering regarding Spanish language. And then we also, along with the Spanish-speaking embassies, with the 13 Spanish-speaking embassies in Indonesia, we try to offer cultural activities that will enhance the interaction with all the Spanish-speaking cultures.
Okay, since as you mentioned before that, there is a official Spanish class even in university here in Indonesia, right?
Well, the thing is, there's not a single department of Spanish in any university in Indonesia, and this is something that we want to look and then work on that, because There are many foreign languages being taught in many universities, let it be major universities in Jakarta, in Yogyakarta, but then not a single Spanish department. And this is a huge absence because both Bahasa Indonesia and Spanish are very important languages, and they should be interacting directly and not as happens right now, indirectly through other third languages such as English or French. So all mediation, all interactions are done, most of them, through a third party, and we want to get closer. And for that, we need the first tool is the language. So language has to be present. So it can't be that the fourth more important international language and the second most spoken international language worldwide is absent from Indonesia.
So how you convince the universities to that this is a very important languages that you have to have in your class, in your
We
program?
don't need to convince them. The data is already available.
Okay.
Spanish language is the most preferred language, foreign language in the UK. Is the second largest language in the United States. Is the second. It's an official language of the EU. I mean, we have lots of good reasons. So we don't need convincing. The data is there. What we need is to set the structures, which we have not had the structures with Indonesia educational system, only because our relationship, which were very strong in the 16th and 17th century. I was explaining that the sultans in Makassar, they used to have Spanish books and they used to speak Spanish language, but that after some years it disappeared. So we need to now settle Spanish within the educational system in Indonesia and also open up the offer of learning Spanish to the Indonesian audience.
Okay, so until this time, so what kind of programs that you already did to promote this language and also culture, like just say an exhibition, performance, or cultural exchange?
For instance, I will pick the most relevant project that we did last year. When you are reading any novel, I can imagine that many of the audience from Republic Indonesia, they read novels. So all the novels, they draw back to the first modern novel, who was written by an Spaniard, Miguel de Cervantes, Don Quixote. Don Quixote is, let's say, the turning point of the modern literature. Then Don Quixote, which is written by Miguel de Cervantes, and so the Spanish Cultural Institute is called Instituto Cervantes, which is named after this author. It was translated, Don Quixote has been translated to all major languages in the world, but not to Bahasa Indonesia. So we worked together with Indonesian counterparts to publish the first full translation of Don Quixote to Bahasa Indonesia. And not only that, but we adapted Don Quixote not only to language, but also to a specific way of literary expression, which is the Wayangolek. Then we liaised with Pak Guanawa Muhammad, and he turned Don Quixote into Wayangolek, and then we staged it first in Salihara, along with Pak Endoswanda, and then in Bandung, and even we took it to Maluku. So we are, one of the things is something that is very important, not just for Spain, but for the world literature. We are bridging it and bringing it to a closer Indonesian expression, and we are very happy and satisfied about this.
Yes, Mr. Serrano, actually we need more time to discuss about this, but we have a very limited time for this program. Maybe just as a kind of closing statement for this interview. So what do you want to say to our listeners out there, especially those who speak Spanish language?
Well, first of all, I would say we are on the promotion of Spanish, but also on the promotion of learning foreign languages. Bear in mind that learning languages will widen your scope, will open up possibilities that you will never think of. So, and for the Spanish language in particular, think that the relationship the direct relationship with the entire Latin America and Spain is yet to explore. And there's many opportunities, including trade, economy, but also educational and so on, to be maximized. So, and there are very few people looking into that direction.
Okay.
So, follow us.
Okay. Well, listeners, that was my very interesting conversation with Javier Serrano, the director of Cervantes Institute here in Jakarta, Indonesia. And for those you are, our listeners, yes, stay tuned to Voice of Indonesia, because all you need about Indonesia, you can get it from here, Voice of Indonesia. I'm Dalat Pane. See you next time.